Okay. All right. So really happy to answer any questions, but I'm going to start off. I am just going to put a link in the chat. This is a link to Narrawahia Golf Club golf course. So I shouldn't have done that while I'm talking, but if you do save that link for after here, that should take you to a tour of the actual golf course. And on there's a pretty cool video around each of the holes at the course. So I'm not going to talk too much about the ins and outs of the course, except I have done a few site visits. I've got another one next week. Well, another two next week. So I'm going to take Cole out at one point as well. The course is in really good condition. I've actually tested it out a couple of times with some friends. It's in really good condition. And the golf club have been really accommodating for us holding the event at their club. There's been a lot of interest from the local members as well to get alongside us and help in that volunteering role as well. So that's a little bit about the course. I'm not going to go to too much about each hole and stuff like that. I have got a couple of questions I want to ask you when I start talking about the format. I'm just going to pop up my questions, and I'm not going to put you guys on the spot and say who asked these questions. If I do miss something out, please put it in the chat or take yourself off mute and we can answer it. So one of the key questions, and something I would definitely ask, is when is the draw and the formats for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday coming out? When will we know exact tee-off times and when will it be released? So I can tell you I've got the official draft sent through to me late this afternoon. Emily, myself, and Cole will sign those off tomorrow, and then we'll make them available to you guys. I have a couple of questions just around some of the tee-off times and some of the gaps in between. Just to give you a bit of a rundown around the actual schedule, we have the course exclusively from 10 a.m. through to 6 p.m. on the Saturday and the Sunday, and on the Friday we have it from early in the morning through till 1:30. So just to, without going into too much detail, because it'll be explained when we send out the exact tee-off times and the actual schedule, Friday is going to be practice day. So no matter if you're skills level 1 through to level 5, 18 holers, the course is going to be fully accessible for you guys as coaches, support people, athletes, anybody in your group. And we've kind of changed our philosophy a little bit from holding a divisioning day where you just come off the plane or off the bus, play a game, then we decide where you're going to be and what division. We're actually going to allow everybody to take the time, and if they want to practice some fundamentals on the chipping green, the driving range, we're going to set up a mini driving range. If you want to go play 9 holes, 18 holes, you want to play with another group, anything you guys want to do on practice day is up to the coaches. You guys know your athletes. We really want to give you an opportunity to allow your athletes, even if they just want to have a walk around, do whatever you want to do basically on the Friday. There is going to be some information given, so there'll be some coaches meetings, some volunteers meetings, and we will put them down in the schedule so you guys are aware of it. But in regards to the actual sport, it's going to be free range for you guys to do what you want to do. Okay. Is there any questions around that? Because some coaches were a little confused. Some of the emails I did receive asking questions around, well, what time will I be teeing off, on practice day on the Friday? What does that mean? Am I allowed to do 9 holes if I'm an 18-holer? And so I just want to put it out there now, if there is any questions around what practice day means. Everybody all good with that? Everyone understands, there's a little bit of flexibility there. If you are struggling to come up with some ideas of what you think you might want to do, feel free to reach out to myself directly, and we can offer some advice there. But again, you guys know your athletes, you know what their training and preparation looks like for the nationals. We have golfers from skills right through to level 5 playing 18 holes with pretty good handicaps. You know, their needs are all different. So we're not going to make you do something you don't want to do. I'm not sure where everyone's traveling from. You know, don't know how you're going to wake up on that Friday after a long day, opening ceremony, that type of stuff. So really hope that what we've put in place is going to work for you guys. We're going to be out of there by 1:30 p.m. So no matter what we decide to do, 1:30 p.m. on the Friday, the buses will be coming. Okay, so buses or vans or whatever it is you guys have had organized for you. That's the Friday. The Saturday, we've got longer days, and you'll see from the schedules we're going to send out tomorrow or make available tomorrow. The days are a little bit longer. We will have people teeing off from 10 o'clock, and there'll be some teeing off early in the afternoon around the lunchtime. They may change, so I don't want to go into it now, like I said, but we will make them available. I really want to hear back from you if you do have any issues with it. Okay, so although we're saying the schedule is going to be locked in, if there is any major issues or concerns, which I don't think there will be, you know, we do want to hear back from you. We want your feedback. This is why we're doing this type of forum.
Question, Gary.
Yeah.
Sorry, question. You're saying that the tee-offs in the afternoon, so the guys are teeing off, are the buses and vans going to be running backwards and forwards so the guys don't have to sit there all morning waiting for their tee off?
Potentially. So what we're looking at, for example, the 18-holers may tee off at 10 a.m. Let's just say, this is hypothetically. So if the 18-holers tee off, the 9-holers may tee off at 12. So roughly there'll be there will be some crossover here and there, but the amount of golfers we've got on the course, we do have a lot of flexibility to try and get everybody in and out around the same time. Obviously, it's 18 holes and 9 holes. There is a difference. We are going to try and minimize that waiting around. Depending on where we land tomorrow, we may have buses leaving different times. Okay.
Thank you.
But also bearing in mind, lunches, etc., will be at the venue. So, you know, there will be, even though it's downtime, that'll be time to have lunch. And I know some golfers will take the lunch with them, and everyone's going to be in a different situation. But look, valid questions. If you see the schedule and you do have those types of questions, please come to me. There's no promises they'll get changed, but we will be able to explain the rationale around those tee-off times. It won't be too different from any of the T2s you guys attend. So that's one thing I would say. Like, schedule-wise, it's not going to be overly different. So a few questions that the kind of quick fire questions, but how many golfers have entered for nationals? We have had a few pull out across all sports. So right this minute, I think we are in the low 30s for the full golf schedule. This information will be made more available once the schedules come out, but as of this morning, I think we were low 30s. Okay. So for the coach that asked that, I hope that helps. Saying that, even though we've got smaller numbers than anticipated, I do think the divisions actually work quite well from what I've heard and what I've seen from the other team. So one question that come up, and I kind of answered it, but when will the divisioning rounds be played to determine which divisions players will be putting for the finals? So look, all this information is on the overview on the National Summer Games website and was sent out to clubs. Very conscious some of you guys have been given the role as golf coaches very late in the piece as well. So for those that already know this, that there isn't going to be divisioning rounds. It's going to be practice day. Divisions are going to be already set based on handicaps and the information being provided by you guys as coaches already. Okay, and why this is, I can give you a bit of a background. historically in previous nationals, and we've done the analysis around this, we've put a little bit of pressure on some athletes to play extra rounds, and that we haven't really had to change the divisions. So when people come in with a handicap or whatever, we've put them in certain divisions. Essentially, there's been no movement. They've just played an extra round. So we've tried to eliminate that, offer a bit of flexibility to do a practice round, get familiar with the course, orientation, ask some questions, and then we'll have 2 days of competition in the divisions based on the registration information provided from the clubs. Looking at it, it looks pretty good. Historically, when they've looked at the percentage and differences, some athletes have been playing with other golfers that are should be in a total different division. So we're hoping by doing it this way, we can make it as fair as possible. Divisions are a little bit smaller. Again, I still think it's going to be a really good, viable competition. Same coach did ask the question around the percentage difference used to determine divisions. Again, we're not divisioning as in the overview and the rules, but percentage. Previous games, we've done the analysis, and between 38 and 52% difference. For some of you, this won't make no sense, but for those coaches that asked this question, there was a 32 to 58% difference in the divisions, and that's not great for some of our athletes. So this way of operating will get rid of that. And also, there is no max effort to be enforced. That's not in our rules. So that was a question that came up as well. Talking about PIDs. So again, some people won't know what this means, but the person that asked this question, I encourage you to go to the overview and have a look at the rules that we're going to be playing by. There is no PIDs and there is no maximum effort. Okay, so I hope that clears that up for you. How many rounds will players play in the final division? So 2 competition rounds is what everybody will play. So if that's skills, unified, your level 2s, your level 4s, or your level 5s, everybody will play 2 competition rounds, and the score will be a combination after those 2 rounds, and awards will be given based on those scores. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Probably just take a bit of a pause there and just ask if there is any questions. Tony, you are on mute, mate. I can unmute if that helps. Sorry, I hear you, Tony. You'll have to turn. There you go.
Can you hear me, Gary?
Yeah, you know, mate.
Oh yeah. Just as I said before, the handicaps. So they've been sent into you.
Yes. So all registered players have sent in the clubs that we've received handicaps, or if they haven't, in accordance to the rules, we've had the previous 6 scorecards, I think it is, and we've done that analysis.
Yeah. So during the competition, it will be stroke play though.
Sorry, what level we're talking? What level we're talking here, Tony?
Level 4.
Okay, so we're talking our 9-hole.
Yeah, 9-hole. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's stroke play.
Okay. But we're going literally by the rules that are in the 2020 rules.
Okay.
Okay. So does that make?
So the rules is stroke play, isn't it? Yeah.
The rules, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
clarify. But I will clarify that. I've got the rules up in front of me. One second, Tony. Okay. Level 4. Okay. Yeah, this stroke play competition.
Yeah.
Okay. I can confirm that definitely. I would encourage everybody to have a read of the rules. We are going to go through some stuff at the management meeting beforehand, and Emily will be on hand with myself and Cole to answer any questions. But with the scoring, I really recommend that you go and read page 17 of the rules. If you are if you're looking at the scoring, can send the link now if that's of benefit to people. Apologies for that. There you go. Yeah, so that's the link to our rule book. We will be going by the rules. There has been a couple of questions around handicap system and how do we work it out for the unified partners and all that type of stuff. That's why we've pre-done that work. So some clubs only submitted 2 scores. We had to go back to them and say, well, we actually need 6. So people have gone out, provided the evidence, all signed off in accordance to the rules. Those that haven't have actually withdrawn from the competition. I can assure you the divisions have been set up pretty accurately based on the information we receive from the clubs. Okay. So it doesn't matter that it is stroke play. We're still going to go on those handicaps just because it's the ability of the golfer.
Just to divide them up into categories.
Yeah, so the divisions, if you're not familiar with our divisioning, the easiest way to explain it is our 18 holders, for example. We've got 8 registered. That's ranging from a 2 handicap to a 36. The 2, the 8, the 10, and the 12 will be the top division with the lowest handicaps, and then the other 4, because that's the fairest division and the nearest in regards to their ability. Okay. Very similar around, and this will make more sense. And me and Emily had this conversation. I can feel her cringing. We had this conversation earlier on today. Once you see it in front of you where yourselves and your athletes are going to be, it will make a lot more sense to you. All right. So again, any questions after you've seen that, just please, yell out. We'll be able to give you some clarity around them.
Yeah, I think it's really important to be clear whether it's gross or net, though.
Yep. Okay. I'll follow this up with a bit of an email.
I mean, the rules read as if it's a gross event. However, I mean, net would be more appropriate, as you've mentioned. So I'm not quite sure what you guys have done previously. I mean, we've already spoke about this, but based on Tony's question and just rereading, it does looks as though it's a gross event, but net would be more appropriate. So
I'll send through, and I don't want to, and I know I keep saying I don't want to, but I've got the scorecards. I can actually get one up now, actually. Hang on. Sorry, Tim, bear with me. Okay. So, without going into too much detail.
Sorry, Gary. In the past, we played
Yes,
the net.
yeah, that's what I just want to say it, Rob, without just confirming it here. Yeah, you are right. Okay.
yeah, net makes sense.
It does make sense, yeah. And that's obviously taking, with the adjusted scores, we get an adjusted final score. I've got the score up in front of me here. I just don't want to throw it on the screen for those coaches that have never seen it without confusing you, because it will confuse you. Send out everything so you guys can see it all in one, so it makes a little bit more sense. And guys that have been given golf, I will a little bit more information in around what net it means, just so you're aware, because our rules don't actually clarify meaning of that stuff for you guys. So I'll make sure that comes out tomorrow as well. Is there any other questions around format? Is everyone happy and understanding what level they're actually participating in? I've had a couple of coaches, yeah, and it was pretty scary. Some thought they were doing the skills, but there was actually level 5. Okay, so I just want to make sure here we're having a bit of open dialogue to you guys at ease, especially if this is your first nationals. Any questions? Excellent. Okay.
Sorry, Gary, I think the practice day sounds good because not doing divisions, the guys will get a chance to see the course and relax and have fun.
Yeah, Absolutely, Tony, and that was the idea. And look, something when I first talked to Emily 3 years ago, nearly now, which is scary that it was that long ago. She looked at some stuff and just said, "Well, you're actually not helping your athletes and your coaches with some of the rules that we have in place." And it makes total sense if you look at any national tournament at any level, grassroots through to high performance. Most golfers would get some opportunity and some time to get around a new course. Okay, so one question I did have on for especially for the 9-holers, and again, Rob, it'd be really good to get your input here from previous games. What's the preference and what's been done historically with the 9 holes over 2 days? Would you play, say, the front 9 twice? Or would you play front 9 then back 9? Because I'm just thinking as a player, you play front 9, but then the next day you've actually learnt the course a little bit more. You can actually try and better your score. Or
Yeah, honestly, I think playing the same 9 both days for the 9-holers.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it makes it an even game for everybody as well.
That's what we felt as well, would play the same 9 twice.
and that's something that aligns with what you do at Golf New Zealand, Emily? That's how you guys roll.
It's just also what my preference would personally be as well, right? If you're having a competition, you're only playing 9 holes, you want to play the same one twice. And like you say, Gary, you want to see if you're better. You're playing against yourself to some degree when, and you're playing the same 9 twice. Yeah, and it's also a bit destructive playing a second 9 that you might not have around or had time to get around on the practice day as well. So yeah,
Awesome.
if you guys are all happy with that, I think that's a good way to go.
Yeah, we was leaning there anyway, but again, with decisions like that, we actually just did want to ask you guys, because with there being a practice day as well, I know a lot of coaches will enjoy actually going to see the full course. By all means, you can go play the back 9 if you wanted to, but my recommendation would be, get your guys on the front 9 or the back 9, whichever we decide as a bit of a practice. I'll send that out as well, a decision around where that will be, because right now the schedule doesn't actually say whether it's the front 9 or the back 9. Okay, so we'll make that quite clear. And that'll allow you then to look at the course map and actually work out what it is you're doing. Any other questions around the format or anything around the course? No? Okay. A couple of questions came through around the awards ceremonies. So again, we are quite a small group. The awards will all be done at the conclusion of the event on the Sunday. Okay, they'll be done upstairs at Narrawarrah Golf Club. We've got a bit of an events team coming in, and Cole will be supporting them, and we'll present all the awards on the Sunday once everyone's finished their round. Okay, and all the scores have obviously gone through the processes. Does that make sense?
Approximate time? Yeah, you got any approximate timing on the Sunday, Gary? Just so
we'll make
asking.
that. Yeah, definitely, Steve. So I will put that in. I'll know a little bit more tomorrow. Once we tweak those times, and then we'll be able to give you a pretty good, accurate time. That's one thing with Narrawarrah. So for those that are not familiar, and there's a couple of coaches who were not on here but did ask this question, you're looking at around 15 minutes in car from Claudelands Event Centre to get to Narrawarrah. On the bus, I'd be saying 25, depending on which way they go and what time of day and all that type of stuff. Some people are going in their own cars, their own vans, all that type, nice thing. I am going to talk to the venue around, and again, this isn't something I was planning on saying, but around storing equipment there as well. So I'm hoping that you guys that want to leave your clubs there, trundlers, if you're bringing your own stuff, I'm sure it won't be a problem. We've got full access. I just want to, before I give you 100% yes, that's great. I actually want to make sure it's all going to be locked up and all done. There is showers there and all that. I don't think it will be applicable for many, but typical golf course, typical golf club. It's a pretty good course. It's got everything you'd expect from a course. We know people flying in won't be bringing trundlers and stuff. We'll make sure there is trundlers there for people that have requested them. And at this stage, we've got one group that will have a golf cart based on the medical certificate we received. Okay, and that's not for the athlete. That's actually for, it's for one of our unified partners who's recently had surgery. Okay, so any questions? I feel like I've jumped around and waffled on a little bit, and I'm really keen to answer anything if I can that you guys have got.
Yes, Gary, one thing I've thought of, worst case scenario, if we get some really bad weather, at which point do we make a decision there?
Yeah, really good. And you've just prompted me to, and I thought Emily would have picked me up on this as well, Cole. But we are hoping that to have a course referee who's going to obviously just go around, make sure everything's going good. It is our nationals. We want to make sure everyone's, going by the rules. If there's any issues where they want some clarity as they're going around, all that type of stuff. The final decision around severe weather, which I can tell you now in Hamilton and Waikato, we don't get that. We play all weathers anyway, but that final decision around the health and safety will be made by Emily and the referee. Okay. But we know that, Cole, it's not going to happen. It's happened this week, so that's out the way now.
Right. It's good.
Right. Good question. Okay. A couple of questions around lunches came through. So every venue has a different policy. So lunches for golf, as far as I'm aware, will be dropped off before people tee off. Okay. And if that's not possible to be dropped off at Narrawahi Golf Course, lunches will be dropped off to the clubs before they set off to the course so that you've got it on hand. Failing that, you will get fed at Narrawahi Golf Course. So I do assure you, you're not going to go hungry. In saying that, when I talk to golf coaches, I always say bring extra fluid, all that type of stuff for our athletes. I've been to a few T2s where athletes haven't had bottles of water and all those things. There is things you can purchase there. I was told by the club, if things go wrong and you need clubs re-gripping or you need to buy equipment or whatever, they can help you with that stuff as well, because the pro shop will be available. Okay. Very basic information, but hopefully you can pass that on to your club just to ease any minds. Anything else, Emily, from your end, or Cole? Anything you think right now we want to tick off?
I guess for me it was the weather situation, fingers crossed, and also you've just covered off the meal situation as well.
Yeah. So I can assure you, and Rob is our ex-chairman and still board member for SONS, and he's obviously across our wider risk plans. But I can tell you, the golf club's got their own risk plans. We're very much aligned with their risk plans. We will go through that stuff when we're there. It came up last night on a webinar. Emergencies are emergencies. That's 111. But we are fully covered with all that stuff, and our risk plans are all in place, and they'll be available for you guys as well when you're there. We have had a few clubs ask from other sports. So again, there's going to be no issues there whatsoever. One thing the golf club did tell me to advise is they do have, and one club have taken this opportunity up, they do have some campgrounds for motorhomes. If you know of any family that are wanting to do that type of thing, there is a handful that have already inquired. They're doing a really good rate for our guys. It's next to nothing per night, and that's based in the the back end of the golf course car park. Okay, so if you do know of any parents that are trying to come and support the teams, etc., feel free to link them with myself or Cole in the first instance, and we can help them get that stuff sorted. All right. Okay, that's about enough from me, unless there's any other questions. And again, I will follow up. So tomorrow you're going to get an email with quite a few documents. There'll be some information on there. Please feel free to share that with other people. I will say that it is still subject to change. So we are getting athletes withdraw, unified partners, coaches, etc., one-on-one carers, all those things that are involved in our events. We are getting a change in numbers every day. So up until the day before and the time we're in Hamilton, we are subject to change, but any changes made from tomorrow, I will send out revised information anyway. Okay, so at this stage, probably don't need to overthink it. We'll send out the draws for you guys to have a look at. Please give us feedback. Very receptive to it. If you think there's some stuff we might change for the better of for the needs of our athletes, please, don't not ask me. Please just give me a call or an email or something, and we'll work through it. All good. I'm pretty excited about the golf. I think it's going to be a really cool event. And yeah, thanks again, Emily, for supporting us, and to you, Cole, as well.
Welcome.
Okay.
Yep, should be good.
All right. Thanks, Tony.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. All
And
right,
we'll
guys.
go rain or shine, unless the golf
Mm.
course closes. We'll pretty much be going cold. So yeah, bring your umbrella and be prepared. I don't think that's going to be the case, and I think more importantly, make sure everyone brings suntan lotion and snacks, because although there's lunch, 4 hours out on the golf course is a hard slog for anyone. Always take some snacks. Always get that suntan lotion on, and yeah, because it's going to be sunny, Cole. We're going to have a great weather. I've predicted it.
Yeah, to work on my tan.
Let's do that.
All right, guys. Look, and if you do have any change of circumstance or anything like that, and I'm getting all sorts of questions. So this is why I'm saying it. Please just come to me in the first instance. If it's a medical thing or golf carts, trundlers, any of these little niggly questions, just come to me. Okay, and we'll try and iron it out before we get there, so you guys can enjoy it with our athletes. Okay.
Cool.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for making
Thank you
the
very
time to
much.
jump on. No
Yeah.
worries.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys.